This is Aloft, and this is sponsored this time by their publisher Funcom, and it's made by Astrolab Interactive Inc. So, very large publisher, and we get to meet the team later. And the game looks really goddamn cool, actually. All right, let's do it. Hell yeah. Look at that randomizer. More random. More random. More random. Look at that mustache. I want to be like the palest, ridiculous. I want to get real ridiculous. It kind of looks like mythology, right? Like kind of like Zeus-like structure. I want the largest hair. We need the largest hair imaginable. And then we got to change faces around. What kind of body are we doing? There we go. We could just, like, Giga Chad bod, beer belly bod, skinny bod. Can I get, like, a gigantic mustache? How large of a mustache can we go? That's a big old mustache. And beard combo. We'll do that. I need larger hair. We need the biggest hair. It's not big enough. We need more hair. Additional hair. We'll just do that. There we go. A little bit of deep rock going on. True. I wish I could have a larger... Wait. Yeah, getting more deep rock. Good. We need a mustache that screams dwarves in space, dude. Yeah, and or Sea of Thieves. True. I think I'm going to do that one. No. That one. I wish I could grow a mustache. I can't. There we go. Confirm it. Wait. What are we naming him? Human. Human. Done. Armor looks cool. Create a new world. What do we name the world? Hue World? We're not calling it Hue World. What is wrong with you? It's already human. Chatlandia. In the world of Chatlandia. Wait, that means you get to control... Oh, no. That's a mistake, isn't it? That night, the eternal storm caught you by surprise, engulfing you in its devastating winds and bringing you to this mysterious and broken world. Alright. Alright. My ship is destroyed. Very cool. Can I interact? I cannot interact. What is that? I like the hands in the environment. Yoink. Wait. I can just take everything. I love stealing. I'm stealing from nature, chat. That's interesting. So you discover what it's going to be by using it. Okay. I actually really like that system. I love the idea of discovering it that way. That's quite cool. I want to steal the bee. A ladybug. All right. There's a timing-based minigame with gathering. I really enjoy that, actually. Huh. Need more stones. I wonder if there's a limit to how much I can pick up. There's giant shells here. Maybe we can get those. More stones. We can't do log and log. It doesn't work. But I have a hammer. Okay. Wait. Get some more wood there. Some some more stone, some more wood. Twined oak seed. Is there anything we can do? What is this? Twined or twinned? Plant in a seed mound to grow in twinned oak tree. Okay, cool. Seeds for trees. Yoink! Ladybug. There's so many resources, and it's quite interesting to just pick everything up. Alright. Rocket. I think I'm gonna try to break those shells, yeah. Nope. I love the timing, so if you swing this, it's got like an amount of time, and if you swing wrong, it doesn't let you do it twice, but if you swing it correctly, everything is right. Like, it moves super fast. So you can't break those. Can't break this. Alright, we're gonna move forward. I wanted to break the big barnacle. Is that a space barnacle? What is that? It's horrifying. Yoink. Alright, so that gave me the wood. Now, can we build out in the open world? And if so, we can go to build. Catalog with B. Wooden floor. Okay. There we go. And we can quit with escape. Our most valuable resource, creativity, was truly limitless. Talent tree. Workbench or glider stand? Workbench. Off we go. Ah! You ever just make a mistake? You ever do that in your life? And then you have to undo that mistake, and you hope that no one saw, but then there's thousands of people that are watching you, so they totally saw, but then you're gonna try and play it off like they didn't see? You ever do that in your life? I've never done that before. Ever in my life. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Can we break this? Quit out of that. Ooh, we can't break this. So we need to build this. And then we have to escape this and then use this. And now we can do... Really? Okay. Pickaxe done. Leaf cloth. That's the only thing we can do. Alright. It looks like leaf cloth is only used for this right now. And we can't do anything with that. So I think we're good to go. More stone. Nice. Do these have durability? They don't appear to have durability either. A windstone. What is that? A mysterious glowing and transparent stone with magnifying properties. Wait a minute. Another windstone. Alright. Another windstone. Ah. So there's special materials inside of minables and other gatherables, maybe. You know, every game needs to have a oh shit moment. This is this game's oh shit. That's awesome. That is really cool. It's like a giant horrifying space whale. Yeah, it is really cool. That's rad, dude. What is this? What are you? Alright. I love that it creates like a dent in there, and that if you do like chopping well enough, it gets like a special animation like that. So if you hit the mark enough times, that's really neat. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. The mining pick gets a two-handed swing. Alright. Another one of those nodes. Knowledge. Our journey is not defined by what we abandon, but by what we carry with us. Home Kite allows you to claim an island as your own and teleport to it. Okay. Up we go. You think it's only for gathering tools? Makes sense. Wait. Face sculpture. Ugh. A face carved in a stone. It is mysteriously found in caves. Is that another face sculpture? He looks kind of upset, don't you think? That guy doesn't look too happy to be one. You know, like... that poor little guy. So ones that are glowing have the wind stones in them. That's cool. So if I see glowing stones, I'm gonna get every one of those. Oh god, they're everywhere. They're everywhere! You're a face stone, you're 5 face stones. Now what? How do you respond without sounding mad? Oh. What is this? What is that? I love this. It's just such a weird way to do terrain. It's really nice looking. You guys think I could make it? No? I can't believe you don't believe in me. It's very upsetting. I'm upset now. And I'm so upset that I can't jump now. I don't think I can make it now. You don't? It's true? Damn. What is this? So I can make the glider stand now. I feel like I should make it all the way up here, you know? Build, glider stand, workbench. No, we're gonna do this one. Glider stand. How do I rotate? Q and E. Got it. It's kind of cool. Okay. A sturdy, simple, and efficient has no special attributes. We need to get more of this. So I need to do 3, and we gotta do build in the catalog, and I need to make a workbench. I'm gonna use this, and then I'll do craft that. Oh, this can't be used for anything yet? Okay. Now we can use this, and there. Craft this. Apply. And then do the inventory. We'll equip that. Oh, that's sick. I'm gonna dive right into the pit immediately, because I'm not good at this. Oh, this feels really good. You can catch the air. No, this feels awesome. Dude, this feels really cool. Charcoal. A mushroom. Reishi mushrooms. Oh, those are neat. I grow those. They're very fun to grow. They only flatten out like that under certain conditions. A lot of the times they just look like big old weird tentacles. Creepy. What a great feeling experience on this. Soundtrack's incredible. It's just, it feels like free range of movement. We can grow trees now. This game has a lot of wow moments. Like, the moments where you're like, wow, that's freaking awesome looking. Or it feels very good. They've done a very good job of bumping up those wow moments with, like, music as well. Like, it feels very, very good for that. Yeah, no, awesome. Sick. No, wait! There we go. Ladybug. Oh! You can hold the button down to do that. Off you go, buddy. Here. You go on that? No? He's just in my inventory now. Actually amazing. What if I can go up? Just like the tools, you also have... Ow. Oh! You also have like a special movement ability. Oh! I wonder if there's fall damage. Not too good at this yet. I really like the little quick time stuff like that. What is this? It's a completely different biome over here. Is this somebody's house? It's covered in mushrooms. Ugh. Ugh. Maybe whatever's going on in here is bad. These don't give resources, and they're kind of gross. You know? Jesus Christ. Alright, buddy. Enough of that. Oh. Micter fiber. Alright. Find and destroy remaining corruption cores to make this node vulnerable. Got it. Fungus. It's taking the land. Got it. That's one. We can't gather anything. There's notes and all kinds of stuff here. We'll figure it out. Get out of here. Alright, tree should be vulnerable. Nope, there's another one. I'm stuck. Ow. Gross. Gross. Okay. Alright. Neat. Now what is this? Piece of paper? Another stone axe? It's a bunch of wood. Oh, it's regenerating my health. Look at that. Yeah, no, killing them makes the grass return. So cleansing this place, basically. Ah, what is that? Small plants. We can eat the reishi mushroom. You know what's funny? I would not eat a reishi mushroom. I would not eat a reishi mushroom at all. It's very funny. They're used for tea. It's not something you would just eat. Is it safe to eat? It is. Use it in tea. They're hard like stone. They're like a wood. Yeah, they're not a soft mushroom. You wouldn't even cook it to eat it. You put them in tea. It's quite good though. It's good as tea, let me tell you. What is that? What the hell is corruption anomaly? All mushrooms are edible? They're just as dense as like a tree. They're wood. So it looks like there's a bunch of spots here to grow new trees. Maybe I should take this place. It's almost got everything I need to, like, build a home, you know? Okay, so we can repair stuff like that. Blueberry seed sketchbook. Okay, plant a seed mound or farming plot. There we go. A wood-bound booklet with charcoal sticks, used to learn building pieces by sketching them from the environment. Oh, that's cool. So we can learn recipes by finding something, using paper, and then sketching the building. That is an awesome system. I have never seen that in a game. What an interesting way to do this. Well, what do I want to use it on then, right? I feel like the chest is the right answer. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's fresh, exactly. The loom is a damaged structure. It's something to break and destroy. I feel like the chest is the right way, dude. Storage is king, yeah. That's so neat. So we have to find more paper to do this. What a cool system, man. I've never seen that. I love that. I need to make rope. Okay, let's do this. Is that going to be rope? There's our rope. And we can do that. And this. And that. And that. Alright. We made hay. That's a new one. We could do... reishi and... Oh? We don't have enough. We'll do reishi and this. Craft that. A leaf bandage. Cool. So they're using mushrooms as the basis of, like, healing, it seems. We'll use that. And we'll use this and this. Maybe that and that. What is this? A stone dorkip. Simple stone tool that can be used as both a hoe and a spear. Oh, this is going to be a different one. A sword. It looks like these don't break over time. That's cool. So we can just dismantle stuff when we don't need it. I like that. A leaf bucket. Container used to water a single space of soil and to milk female goats. We have animal husbandry? Okay. We don't have those materials. Charcoal and wood. A torch. Portable source of light. You like that? Go equip one of those. Can we burn things? Can I burn stuff? Can I light myself on fire? No. Not without trying. Burn the fire pit? I know, right? Alright. That would need to become a... I bet that becomes a sketchbook. That'd be my guess. Okay. We don't have the materials needed for anything else. So, I think it's time to leave this place. I got a lot out of this. Being here. Actually, wait. Why don't I just live here? Let's make this home. Right? Shared homes currently in the world, 0 of 3. Create a personal home. You can learn recipes if you don't have all the mats. Ah! I didn't want to build it yet, though. What am we going to build the island? Tortuga. The pirate island. Island in transition, please wait. This island is now your home. Yeah, I don't... Maybe I do want to learn stuff that way anyway. We'll do it. A sickle. Cutting grass and small plants. Okay, so that's how we can get small plants. Field guide. A tool to take notes and evaluate the ecosystem's health of an island. How do we make paper, though? What's this? Cool. Alright, this is home now. Only by knowing where we've been, we will know where to go. It's a sailing tree. Table map. An intricate contraption useful for orientation and tracking your exploration progress. Alright. Find lost sailing knowledge. 1 of 4. Some kind of flower is what it looked like? Oh, paper. This is very fun to explore. I really like this, actually. There's a lot of, like, love and craft in these environments like this. What do you want me to find in here? Maybe just down the road. Maybe it just means go this way. Rope. Free rope is always nice. Well, that's rough. Yeah, it's a grave. I like that, though. I think they did a really good job with that. What? What? What's the problem? They weren't using them. What's the issue? They're free stones. Why wouldn't I take the free stones? What's the why are you so upset, Jim? Okay, we got a windstone. More rope. Oh. Is that a glass of water? Clean water. Eat it. We're hydrated. Now we can eat salt to become dehydrated. There it is. We sailed the winds, thanked the storm, and mourned the sea. A rudder. Well, we gotta build the rest of our ship now. We got a rudder. Now to learn the rest of the damn thing. I like this island, though. Seaweed basket, huh? I wonder how procedural these are in terms of generation. I wonder if they handcraft these or if they are procedural in some way. Now that's interesting. Handcrafted has to be. Feels like it, yeah. How do I get inside? Ah, there we go. Look at that guy. Yoink. Ooh, a new type of stone. New resource. Hell yeah. Yoink. I got a frog. Orange frog. Oh my god, look at his little face. A happy frog that loves to eat flies and to nap on lily pads. Release it on an island to contribute to its ecosystem's fauna. This critter is native to Emerald Isles. So we can catch creatures and then improve ecosystems. Oh, what's this? Oh, alright, it takes you straight up. That's awesome. Can you hold it like the ladybug? Maybe. We'll find out. Is that just an outhouse? This is sick. It's just like a tiny little building. What is this? Oh, Mushroom World. I have a sword now, though. There it is. The stinky. Oh, wait. Nice. This goes very fast with the sword. Is today D&D day? It is indeed. Ow. I didn't know how much damage it dealt. I was hoping it would be able to kill the whole thing. Oop. Oh, that's not great. There we go. Gross. All right. Made it through another one of these. Huh. Why are you invading their home? If it was their home, I wouldn't own it. Which I do. You know? So, if that tells you anything. Alright, let's see. Leaf floater. Okay, so don't know what that does just yet. I think I can bring down one of these mushroom buildings again. There's a nearby one. And maybe get my final piece. Yo. That's a lot of axes, man. That's like a lot of... I don't need axes. But I need axes. You know what I mean? Like, I guess I could just dismantle all these, because the axes don't ever seem to break. So that's just free materials, yeah. Yeah, it's just free. Wonder what I should learn. Because I have the ability to... Oh, I got more pages, too. I have the ability to learn stuff. Ooh, salt crystal's a new material? But I don't know which thing I want to learn. Maybe a bed. I think a bed is probably the best answer, to be honest with you. Yeah. Alright. Where am I? Where am I going? There. Mushroom. Did you get the loom? I do not have a loom. Yeet. Oh, it's a big one. Oh, wait, no. It's a really tiny one. Ah. Rude. Oh, it's one of those. Weird corrupted thing. Yoink. One's down. Last one's down here. A really tiny island here. Yeet. This is actually really cool, and I wonder how much this is going to evolve. Like, if these are, like, your starting monsters, and this is your starting weapon, like, what happens, right? Like, where does this go? I just learned how to do a leap attack? That's sick. I can build construction basics, or a bed. I think I'm going to do construction basics and then copy something else out if I find another bed in the wild. That way I don't have to use a knowledge point on it. Is this a survival game? I have not seen any survival mechanics yet. It's more like an exploration and combat game currently. But it is very beautiful. And it feels good. And that's kind of all I wanted from it. You know, like that was the experience that I was hoping for, is exploration and kind of freedom of movement, which this has both right now. Look at that. What is that? What is this? Like, just random little stuff like this is just very neat, you know, like the freedom of movement feels freaking amazing, to be honest with you. It's kind of exactly what I was hoping for. Yeah. It's a pre-made, it's like a tiny ship. Yeah, I wonder if we can repair it, maybe? No. Can I light it on fire? No. Repair it or burn it. Those are the choices. Can't sketch that. We could sketch this. Well, I could learn to sketch that. Or this. Interesting. So it looks like you could only learn to sketch stuff that's completely repaired. So I can't find something that's mostly broken and then do that. Ah! I was going a bit fast. Ah. What is this? Underwhelming soup. Eaten. It was rather underwhelming. Fair. I was trying to see if the tree could fall on you and do damage, but the answer is no. What is that? Oh, just stone. Alright, I was like, that's a unique looking stone. Hadn't seen that before. Alright. So I need to get one last steering point, it looks like, to get the last thing that I was trying to do there. It's a giant storm over there. We haven't gone to this one. Does not appear to... What is that? Cool. Face statue. The creepy ones. More... Okay, so salt crystals. I found one of those before. Knowledge point. Yeah, I got a torch. Yeah. Yeah, there's always something behind a waterfall. Emerald Island storage. Crystal windows. Campfire. I'm gonna go storage. Because we just learned all the leafy baskets and everything. I don't know how useful salt crystals are going to be, but new material is new material, right? Almost time to depot your goods? Maybe. I've got a lot of stuff. I love that it came with like a micro dungeon secret thing. Like, that's really cool. You know? Oh wait, what the hell is that? So it's got secret stuff on the outside, too. Oh, I gotta check the whole bottom of basically everywhere that I go now. Is this multiplayer? Yes. I'm gonna lay down and repair. I don't know if I checked every one of these. Alright. Is there a world map of any kind? I'll hit M and we'll see. You can mark waypoints on a world map? I'm very excited for that. Find and examine the second fresco. Okay, I've gotten the second fresco. Glad I came back here. See if there's anything else on here. I need to get one last sailing knowledge. Then we can make a ship. You think you understand? I definitely don't. Although I'm excited about it. We're obtaining lost knowledge is what it looks like. Yeah, we'll go over here. We need one more sailing knowledge. Already got this one. All right, I'm going to get on with the devs in just a moment. So I'm going to hop into the channel with them, and then we're going to talk to the developers. This game is very beautiful, dude. This is where we started. This is the beginning area. Somehow looks different now, right? All right, I'm going to hop on with the devs. This is incredibly pretty. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. So, if you'd like to introduce yourself to the community and tell them who you are and what you work on.
Yeah, of course. My name is Nicholas Fournier, and I'm the lead game designer for Aloft. We've been working on that game for about 5 years now. So we're trying to do a mix of survival mechanics without being too survival and a cozy genre, of course. So, that's the game.
Yeah, and so far this is actually incredibly beautiful. Like, I think you guys are doing something really cool. And I can feel the survival mechanic of, like, yeah, just kind of go around, collect materials and things like that. You said survival with being less about the survival and more about kind of being cozy, like you were saying. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, exactly. So, like most survival games, the way they feel survival is they have you, like, do little tasks for your own survival. Like, you have to eat, you have to drink, to sleep, or avoid, like, dangers. But that kind of clashes with the cozy genre. So what we're trying to do is kind of just borrow the mechanics of survival games. So, for example, you can cook, you can do your farm for your crops and your animals. You can kind of upgrade your tools and upgrade your clothing, and kind of all the progression and systems you expect from a survival game without being forced to engage with them. So they do give you bonuses, they do improve your experience and let you tackle bigger challenges, but if you don't engage with them, then you're not, like, in the threat of like losing your stuff or dying.
That's cool. Yeah, no, I do feel that so far, and I really, really enjoy it. And it seems like there's kind of like combat mechanics, which is something you generally don't see in sort of cozy games. Do those increase over time? Do they get more and more difficult, or is there kind of like a limit to it?
So they do get progressively more difficult, but you also get more powerful to fight them. So, we got the ads. Like, in the game, as you've seen, we have some light combat that's not meant to be, like, too challenging. It does evolve over time, so it's a big world, it's a big game. We have 3 different biomes, and in each biome there's kind of a new strain of corruption. So we have 4 different enemies, and they kind of evolve over the biomes. They gain new abilities and new things to fight you with, but you also get to upgrade your tools. So we have a few set of tools. We have the combat moves. As you saw, you unlocked the leap attack previously, so you get to hold your strike, then aim at an enemy and leap onto them. So we have plenty of combat moves like that. It never gets, like, too difficult for the cozy players, and obviously for those looking for a truly cozy experience, we do have, like, a peaceful mode also in the game.
Oh, that's awesome. I noticed that there's, like, a big emphasis on kind of ecosystems inside of the game as well. I think this is actually really interesting. So we can see, is the intention that you go around and you try to fix the ecosystems inside of each of these islands, or is it over the biome itself?
So it's kind of the main, like, goal of the game is kind of to restore the world, right? So we've got the civilizations past that did some mistakes, and obviously they're all gone now. And corruption kind of came out of those events, so you're fighting corruption to restore part of the world. But some other islands, they just don't have corruption on them. It's just purely their ecosystems are completely dead. So you go around and you you kind of plant new plants, add new animals, remove the pollution and the stuff that the humans left. And we used to have more, like, islands with little needs, like, oh, this island just needs one animal or need this little thing. With the recent update, we kind of revamped it a little bit. Now the islands are fewer that need ecosystem restoration, but the tasks themselves are more, like, fun and meaningful. Because, yeah, overall you're trying to save the whole world, because you'll see, like, if you progress further in the game, that those ecosystem tasks kind of tie into the main progression. So in your tech tree, I don't know if you've noticed, but you have little thresholds that you can't pass until you've learned some insight. And to gain the insights, you have to restore giant trees, and those trees are bound to the health of the whole sector. So, yeah, they're kind of little steps towards your progression.
Yeah, I went through and I was like unlocking a couple of things. I'm trying to find one last piece for this so that I can create
Oh
my
yeah,
ship.
some islands have more than one reward. So there's one anchor left where you learn the helm, like where you desecrated the graves. That's there's an anchor there, and there's also an anchor where you found the cave with the salt that was a knowledge stone in it. So there's two anchors left for you to find.
Oh, so I did actually miss them in the assault one. It's funny because I found a knowledge one, so I was like, oh, okay, that's probably the only thing there. So it can have both. All right, great.
Yeah, something we like to hide little secrets on our island. So sometimes there's a.
I do love this Atlas system. It just creates like a very large, obvious beacon. You know.
Oh
that
yeah.
is if you.
Yeah, especially useful when you're sailing. Like you want to set a destination in the far distance. Like without that Atlas system, it would be pretty hard to know where you're going.
Yeah, no, I really enjoy that. So what are some of the main inspirations for Aloft?
Well, on the side of like how it came to be, like what the inspiration behind the creation of it was, it's kind of weird because we created that game back when COVID was in full effect, and we were feeling very like trapped at that moment, I feel, and we felt like we really wanted to create a game that felt like going outside again, like feeling good, you know, like there was so much like confinement and stuff going on in the world. We just felt like we just want to feel like kids again, exploring the wilderness, you know, and being free. So that's where like the glider being pretty much just flight instead of gliding came to be, and the floating islands too, because we knew we wanted to make a survival game. But our biggest gripe with survival games is usually that the further you progress through the game, because you have a fixed base, then you have to do longer and longer expeditions, and the return trip is not often like fun. So we thought, like, why not bring your base with you? So the floating islands kind of came because of that, since now you can put sails, rudders, helm on your island, and you can actually move your island with you, and you carry your base, you carry your animals, you carry all your stuff. So this way, you're not looking back, you're just moving like forward in the world and having fun.
I really like that, actually. The idea of flying the island around is quite cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of like floating island games that came out since we've been starting to work on Aloft. I think like everyone had kind of the same inspiration, but so far I think we're pretty unique in the sense that we get to sail the islands themselves, which is pretty fun.
That is really fun.
Yeah. For the gameplay inspirations, you know, we're looking at games like Valheim, the way they did their food system, for example, or Minecraft for the freedom they give, and Breath of the Wild also for some of the exploration factors. So I think those would be the three main inspirations.
That's fantastic, actually. So like, that is, I mean, those all really fit with how it feels. So I think those inspirations are definitely coming through, at least for me, you know? It does feel really good in that way, and you guys are only out in early access, right?
Yeah, so we've released in early access in January. We did 3 bigger updates since. So the first update was focused more on the critters. So we added about 50 different critters. You already found like a frog and a ladybug, but there's plenty of those, and they are used for the ecosystem restoration. So they do tie into the mechanics. The second update was more focused on the puzzles. So you found like a lever that opened the door on some of the islands, but we have like pretty like we have like actual puzzles on some of the islands. Obviously, you have to progress further into the game to find those more complex puzzles. And like the joy of us, like our specific game, is that have you seen with the sketchbook? Whatever ruin you find, you can just sketch whatever you like from it, and now you get it, right?
Yeah, I noticed that. I have never seen a game do that. Was there an inspiration for that from another game that I don't know about? Because I have never seen that mechanic. That was wild.
It was, it was mostly just a way to solve a design problem. So initially, there were way more knowledge stones in the world because it was our only way to teach you stuff. So the knowledge stones would give you like the machines and the sails and the stuff like that, but they would also give you the decorations, because we have so many, like we have about 700 decorations in the game, and that's a lot of them, and we don't even
Yeah.
have 700 islands, you know. So even if each island has a knowledge stone, we couldn't give it all to you. But also it tied into like expectations of the player. You know, when they go into a knowledge stone, it used to give you a random, not a random thing, but it's essentially the tech tree, but without you making a choice. It gave you something that you discover once you interact with the knowledge stone. But when you get a decoration and you were expecting a machine or some kind of gameplay feature, that kind of feels bad. But the decorations themselves are nice. It's just that you expected something useful and just get something pretty instead. So we kind of had to separate those. And we already had a ton of ruins in the game that had those pieces. So we thought, oh, why not have some kind of system where the way you learn stuff is just by finding them in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just said, hey, here's a sketchbook, sketch what you want, you get it that way. So, yeah.
So I can get them this way, or I can get them through the knowledge stone. It's basically.
I mean, knowledge stones will give you most of the like functional stuff.
Or the functional stuff. Okay.
Yeah. So, for example, the chest is in one of the storage bundles in the tech tree. You could also sketch it, but all the other hundreds of decorations, the only way to find them is by sketching them from the environment. So it kind of become like a treasure hunt, you know, like whenever someone arrives in a ruin, it's really nice because the ruin is not just a container for a chest. The ruin itself is a reward. So the player will go around and try to find the little details that they like, oh, a wind chime here, or a new rug I haven't found, or a new lamp shape, you know, and that makes for like really interesting exploration, I think.
It does actually, and like that's now that I understand like that system. Like after I saw it, I was like, this is freaking awesome because now I can just go through and try to grab anything that I see, and that does become part of the reward. It makes it so that exploration is the goal, not just find the chest. Which I do think that a lot of these types of games have that problem, where it's like, I need the objective item on this one place, and the rest of it's irrelevant, but you've made that into something that matters, right?
And it's useful for us too, because we're a small team, like we're in Indie Studio, and it's just really like easy to make a ruin and also say that same 3D model is the model you build with. So instead of making like a whole set of ruins and then also a whole building system, the ruins are made out of the building system. So the more we add for like lore or for decorations, it also gives to the player, which ties into that like that puzzle system, right? We made like a bunch of like puzzle elements, but that also means that the player can now make those puzzles themselves on their islands to have like contraptions, kind of a Minecraft redstone system.
Nice.
So, yeah.
That adds a lot to the game. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, so what is your guys' end goal before you go into 1.0? Because you have it in early access. You've been working on this for a while. Mm-hmm. What is your goal before that? What do you want to finish?
Yeah, so the main thing we want to finish is the narrative part of the game. So right now you have some kind of like environmental storytelling through the ruins, through the frescoes that kind of tell a small story. But we really want to make that game more of have more lore to give you, but also more events for you to live through. Because right now you're hopping from island to island, you discover stuff, you build stuff. But in terms of like big events that makes a narrative of your character and your experience, there's not much happening. So we do want to add more of that. And obviously, like the end game, like the end goal, I don't know if you've seen the distance, but there's a giant hurricane. So the whole world is around that hurricane. And that hurricane is not like a decoration in the far distance. That's the center of the map. So the map goes all around, it revolves around that hurricane. But the end goal would be to go into that hurricane and wherever the final boss is, you know? So obviously we want to focus on that like environment and element as well for 1.0.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I didn't realize that wasn't just set dressing. I was like, oh, okay, there's like a wall over there. But if that's a place that you plan to go to, that's very interesting to me. I think it ends up being quite cool.
And it's a big game, obviously. So right now, like we kind of have to present things slowly. So there's kind of a necessary process. Survival games have tons of systems, tons of features. So the introduction, that's gonna what's difficult with survival games is that the introduction, you have to go through collecting resources, how to craft, how to build your tools, how to build, all the basics of survival games, and then you can get into like the more like interesting systems, like, oh, you can sketch things, and the life wind on the low ecosystem islands that you haven't seen yet, or stuff like that. So obviously it's a big game, and yeah. I see that you just found your last sailing knowledge.
Finally did.
So, so you'll be able to explore a bit of the world now. Because as you've seen, I think when you glide around, you're limited to like a current cluster of islands. If you go further than that, you kind of have player exhaustion. But by sailing, that's how you go from cluster to cluster.
So I built a movable kite on my favorite. I built a kite on my favorite movable island, right? But
yes.
Can I change that? Can I destroy that and choose a different island?
Yeah, obviously, yeah. You can build it. You can have as many home islands as you want, and the home islands are also tied to your character. So like character saves and world saves are separate. So you can claim a bunch of islands. Think of it like as spaceships in No Man's Sky. You can have a big collection, and then you can like make them appear in front of you in whatever world you're in. So if I join you, I can like make my island appear. That way you can kind of keep your progress, because it's not just your character; it's also your base, your home, your stuff, your gear.
So that's cool. Yeah. The fact that you can use that in multiplayer is incredibly unique. I think the only other game that I've seen that has even done that, where your home base kind of like teleports, but it's a little bit jankier experience, is Fallout 76. Because what they do is they make it so that when you log in, your home like teleports onto the map. But that spot is already taken. You can't have a base. You can go to a different one, right? But like with this, the idea that you can just teleport your home in, and it's like your cozy house, and you can show it to friends, everything like this. I think that's phenomenal, dude. I think it's a really cool way to do that.
It's also a very cool catch-up mechanic because of the sketchbook system. Like if you joined me after I played for a week, then you can just like take your sketchbook, sketch the important technologies I found during my playthrough, and now you're all caught up to me, if you want.
That's really so somebody can actually just do that. Like I could just bring my house by, and you can sketch all the things that I have if you have enough paper.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I know you were asking earlier about like, oh, are these islands like randomly generated or handmade?
Yeah.
So yeah, something interesting is we found out that we did really want to have handcrafted islands, because we felt like that was the most fun to explore. We weren't really fan of prestige roll generation, and honestly it's really hard to do like good random generation.
It is.
So they are handmade, but the tool we're using to make the islands is in the game. So in the main menu there's like an island creator button. If you click that, it opens you a tool where you can make your own island, and our level designers make all of the game's islands in that tool, so you could recreate any island you want. But it's also tied to the Steam Workshop, so you can export any island you want to the Steam Workshop. You can subscribe to those items, and when you create a new world, you have the options to have like the Steam Workshop islands appear in your world, or you can have a Steam Workshop island as your home, so you can just subscribe and spawn it into the world. So like there's something really fun we can do, just the fact that we're using like the same system for the players as for our devs internally. Yeah,
that's amazing. So you can just trade these around. That's really cool.
Yeah.
What an awesome system. Yeah, no, you guys have spent a lot of time trying to make this, I guess, feel collaborative, which is not something you would expect from a lot of these types of games. Fantastic job. Yeah, really awesome job.
Thanks.
If I brought my island to your world, would you be able to get a point off of this sailing point?
Yes. Yeah, if I haven't collected it already. So that thing has the information of who interacted with it. So
and this one's kind of unique if it didn't exist in your world.
Yeah. And you could delete it as well. Like we know players, once they claim a home, they want to be able to remove the stuff. So for example, that like algae that you found can be cut with a sickle, and the big structure is going to be cut with the axe or the pickaxe. So like technically, that's one thing that's difficult with multiplayer games. Is if you join my world and I deleted like everything that's important for your progress, how can you still play? So yeah, that's a constant struggle. We try to do what we can, and the rest is like up to the good faith of the players.
Fair. I mean, but like this, It seems like you guys are doing a really good job with it. I mean, like if we go look at the reviews, right? I'll go pull this up. You guys are sitting at very positive reviews at 83% positive and 95% positive over the last 30 days. So the changes you guys have made recently have really made your community happy. Can you talk a little bit about that? You said that the critter update was one of them. What was the other one that went over so well?
So after the critter update, we had the Power Logic update with all the puzzle elements. But then recently, like a month ago in November, we released the critters. What was it called? The Bloom and Blight update. There you go. So the Bloom and Blight, we worked on two things. First is the combat. So combat kind of sucked before. So we kind of tried to improve it a bit. So the new enemies I was telling you about, and the new tool tiers, and we kind of revamped also the structure of combat. So right now you go around, you destroy some weak points around the island, and then you can destroy the big node. That's like a new like structure of combat. So that was one element of the game, was the combat. The other element of the update was the bloom part of it. So that's when I mentioned that we reworked the way you restore ecosystems of the islands. So that was a big part of it. Now we have some life saplings and life trees, which are like incredibly beautiful, mystical trees that you get to restore, and they come with like all sorts of cutscenes and like very fun gameplay. So I don't know if you know or have played the game Flower.
No, never heard of it.
Okay, so it's from I think from the creators of Journey. Before they made Journey, they made Flower. And basically you're playing as wind. So you go around, and when you're like close to flowers, they bloom and the grass becomes green, and you're kind of a living paintbrush. So you go around and you add life to the world. So we kind of took inspiration from that. And our new restoration mechanic, you start by planting trees, you start by adding animals, but then once you're done with that, you get to play like actual like mystical wind around the island and bloom everything and make it all pretty. It's a very satisfying mechanic. It's really fun, and it kind of plays into like that feeling of just freedom and like feeling like a child having fun. So just feeling like a paintbrush and just sprinting around. So yeah, that was also a big feature of the last update.
That's awesome. I'm going through all this and cleaning everything up. Trying to build my base set.
Yeah.
No, I actually love this.
And one thing also that we changed with the last update was the world generation. So, as I said, like all the islands are handmade, but the thing is, we have a ton of tools that we use to make each world different and each island different every time you encounter them. So we have maybe about like 300 different handmade islands in the files, but those islands have a platform that is reserved for a ruin. So, and we have separate files. We have hundreds of files of small ruins. And then what we do is that we can mix and match the ruins with the islands. So whenever you enter an island, sometimes it's going to be bare, sometimes it's going to have like a manor on it, sometimes it's going to have a castle, sometimes a small camp. And those kind of settlements can also come with terrain themselves. So sometimes it's on a mountain, there's a tower. Sometimes in a cave, there's that. So each island kind of feels different. We also have like randomization of the resources and the placement in the world. So the starting cluster stays the same, but then as you keep exploring, like everything keeps changing. But because of that system, it was really hard for us to update a world once you've began playing in it. So if we were making an update, then you wouldn't be able to find a new content as you kept playing, because you already created the world. It was already all set in stone, what it was contained in it. So the last update, we kind of made it so that now we can like dynamically update worlds. So before 1.0, it was really important for us to never ask the players to ever like have to wipe their save to be able to experience new content. So so now they can. So now we can update, and you don't have to start over anymore.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, this is quite cool. Putting together all these different sections that you have out here. We've got one floater done. Yeah, I really like this. It's very unique feeling. I guess the basic thing that it kind of feels like to me is it's almost like I'm building Howl's Moving Castle, but as an island. Like it's it's kind of a weird feel, right? And I don't know. I really vibe with it like a lot. Actually, this is very cool. You guys have made something really interesting, unique here.
Yeah, thank you. I think there's something like there's a pride in players of like building their big base and then making it fly around, and it accompanies you through your adventure. Like every effort you make, you get to see all the time and interact with all the time. So we like builders, players who love to spend hundreds of hours in the game to build, like really enjoy that game, and like the sketchbook is also like kind of really fun for them because they get to explore, come back to their home with new stuff to build. Yeah, there's something magical about it, I think.
Yeah, there really is. Getting this location next. I'm gonna go out there. I can now fly my island.
Oh yes.
I should have put this at the top of the island, shouldn't I?
Oh, I think you're missing some sails actually.
No, I have one big one. I have one big one, and it's quite happy about it. Is it just not?
Yeah, you're missing a few. You need a minimum to be able to start moving the island. So you see on the right completely, there's like a gauge that's glowing red.
I see. So I need... Does the bigger sail count as more sail, or...?
Yeah, so essentially, we have like a fully simulated like aerodynamic system. So your sails... they have wind take based on the area of the sail, and then if they have something blocking their wind take, then they won't propel you as much. So you need to make sure that like behind your sail it's clear of any obstructions.
So the trees.
So yeah, bigger sails do propel you more and stuff like that. I think also like the orientation is important. So I don't know if your sail currently is facing the wrong way, but yeah, building a few more should do the trick.
Oh, I thought it'd be automatic. How do I turn this?
So I think you'll have to destroy it and build it again. But when you're building it, there's like 2 arrows at the bottom, at the base that you can align. So if you look at the base of the sail, there's like a blue notch and a white arrow. You just have to align the 2 together. And that's going to be like the proper placement based on your helm.
Got it. Yeah, I was like, why is this not moving very fast? I guess it is an island after all,
Yeah, it is. The bigger islands require more sails to be able to move, because you get the trade-off of having more space to build and to have your stuff. Smaller islands, you just need 1 sail and you're good to go.
Makes sense. Yeah, completely makes sense. I mean, it's an island,
Yeah.
That's one of the things.
Boulder.
It's like no wonder this is moving so slow. It's an island,
Yeah.
And I don't know what I expected.
Yeah. You can upgrade your sails too and all that stuff, so like throughout the game it gets faster and faster, obviously.
Do people have races in the islands? Do people set up like I could see it,
Oh, we wish. There is some glider races happening.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
But the island racing, I haven't seen that yet, because usually it's a very collaborative game. I think for people, they like to have fun together, so they usually just team up on one island instead of having one each. So
that's neat.
Maybe some players have raced. I don't know.
I think that's super cool. I really do. I think the idea of having a collaborative community base kind of a thing. How many people can actually be part of the same island base?
So we have shared homes and personal homes, as you've seen. So the personal homes, because they're tied to a character, if you leave the session, you leave it too. So the shared homes, they stay in the world forever. So even if you leave, then other people can still play on them. There's no limit really to the amount of players that can share the same home. The sessions are limited to 8 players per session. That's kind of an arbitrary number because that's the amount we know it's stable with. But in testing, we were up to 64 players and it was working fine. So maybe one day, or someone will make a mod that will remove that number limit.
Yeah, no, it's. Yeah. I really dig that though. I think that's quite cool. This is always a really difficult question because it's call your own baby ugly, right? Is the idea.
Yeah.
What do you think your game does the worst?
Many things. I think. My job is the game design, so it's kind of my job to see everything wrong with the game and all the flaws to be able to fix them. So I could go on and on, but I'm my own worst self-critic, But honestly, so there's a few things. First, the combat is still not to the point where I'm super happy where it's standing, but it is not anymore to the point where it's an actual problem. So I wish we were better at doing combat. The truth is, though, we're like relying on the talent we have on the team, so we don't have a lot of experience with like NPCs and all those stuff and the behaviors. So I think it is kind of a battle that we were already losing, but we did our best for where it is right now. But the other thing is really about like the content of the game, because I wish we had the manpower to have so much more for the player to discover, but we're always like juggling between what our priorities, you know, because before 1.0 we really want to add a lot of polish juice, like streamline the tutorial, the onboarding, the experience, and just have it very like a smooth experience where there's no like little moments of frustrations or confusions. That takes a lot of time, but at the same time, like, players want to see more stuff on islands, more unique stuff, and that's fair because it's a big world and it takes about like 30 hours if you speedrun it, but really it's about like 60 to 70 hours for most people to finish. And in that time frame, there's a lot of new stuff, but there's also a lot of systems that kind of change a bit, but stay mostly the same. So I think one thing that would be really strong for us would be to kind of break the structure, because right now you haven't seen that structure too much, but the map is divided in sectors. In each sector there's a big life tree to heal. To heal each life tree you have to do 3 life saplings, which is the unhealthy islands, and to heal those you have to make sure the islands around them are healthy. But as you like repeat that loop, I think it gets repetitive. So I think we could use the tools we already have to kind of just break that repetition a little bit, just add a little bit more surprises along the way. So yeah, you know, if you asked me last year when we like at the beginning of the year when we released early access, there will be a lot more I would tell you. But right now, like, we've been to the point where it stops being here are all the problems we need to fix, and more like, okay, we're at a point where I don't need to be ashamed anymore, and there's only like wishful thinking of things I wish we could fix.
That makes sense. I mean, you guys have made something really cool. I think this is awesome. I love the idea, now that I'm flying this, I love that I can see the wind up in the top right, and I can ride the wind in the right direction as long as I line those two up to kind of increase my speed. It's just, everything feels active, right? Like when I'm chopping a tree down, I have to actively hit the marker on it so that I can do the combo. When I'm flying around, I have to actively work with the wind, you know, even if I want to go over there.
That's actually one of like our game pillars, is to have the player be always active. Like, in Minecraft, you wait for like your oven to produce a resource. You're just waiting there. You're just like,
it's just passive. Yeah.
And you haven't encountered our production machines yet, but those machines have a minigame, and you kind of have to be interactive with that minigame to produce the resources faster. You can obviously leave it go, and it will just produce over time. But if you want it to be faster, you can just stay active. So we don't really want the players to be able to have to wait at any point during the experience. If they want to do something, then just let them do that thing and engage with that. And actually, that's one of the longest moments you'll have to wait in the whole game, is your first flight with your island, because you're just going in a straight line. But after the first cluster, you're healing the life sapling, which opens kind of a wind lanes, we call them wind lanes. They're kind of wind highways that like slither around like a snake, you know? So you have to follow them. It's like something that you have to keep your island within to go faster. So that's also a way for you to stay active during sailing. Yeah.
I love that I can change, like, how high up I am, too. Changing the buoyancy of this.
Pretty useful. The biomes each have their own unique feature, and the second biome we call the Fawn Heights. It's way more of a vertical biome, so it's really more important in that biome to have verticality with your island, with your glider, because instead of being more spread out, it's more like a tower of islands, you know?
So I'm going to move myself out of the way so you guys can see it. Look at the bottom right. So your island has stats based on all the things that you've put on it. So if I add more of those things, either it moves faster or it turns faster, so on and so forth. Because I added a ton of rudders at the back, and now it turns really fast. That's actually really awesome. Yeah, can I make a super tiny island? Yeah, I saw the way.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm going to go grab one of those outhouse islands.
So we have a very, very small island in the game that the players called an Ibi, an itty bitty island. And the thing that players do, and that's amazing, is that they build a big ship, and the way they build it around the island, the actual island part is hidden like in the basement of the ship. So what they have is essentially a big flying ship that they just sail around, and it works. It's a ship, and no one knows there's an island inside. So players are really freaking creative, and
That's cool.
we have some building parts also that aren't just like a big block. They're kind of stretchable, so like a plank that you can point A to point B, and it creates a plank between those 2 points. And players make awesome things with that. It's really impressive.
So what happens when you die in this? Do you lose your stuff? Do you have to go pick it back up? Like, how does this work?
Not much currently. We're thinking of adding like a small like debuff when you die that you have to like heal or eat or something to remove it, or to requeue your yeah. Because right now, once you die, all that happens is that you get teleported back home, and you lose your food buffs. So it's really just a minor setback, and you return to the island to fight back again a few seconds later. So
Okay.
yeah,
You don't lose
it's
any-
a cozy game. So.
Yeah, you don't lose any of your inventory or anything like that either.
No, so we're trying to avoid small frustrations. So like, I know for me and a lot of players I play with, like Minecraft for example, we play for a long time, and then the moment in the night where we say, "Oh, enough for tonight," is usually when we die and we lose our stuff. We're like, okay, that's a setback that just kills the vibe.
Yeah.
So like, we're trying to avoid that because it's a bit too feel bad. But there are other things that we can do to make death like meaningful without having it be frustrating.
Makes sense. I think so far this feels really, really good.
Yeah, I'm glad.
These weird corruption
There's a
things.
really difficult thing with floating islands, which may not be like intuitive for most people at first, is that it makes it hard to do exploration. Because in a typical game, for example, you take Breath of the Wild, you will see a tower in the distance, and then you trek through the wilderness to get there. And in that journey, you will encounter side things like monsters, resources, dungeons, and a bunch of distraction. But also that journey is kind of meaningful, and you're engaging with movement mechanics to get there. In our game, you have an amount of islands, and there's no transitionary space. So if there's an island with nothing on it, then you took the time to open your glider and to glide to there and to land there, and then you look around, there's nothing, and you feel cheated a bit by the game because you expected something to be there, because it was a destination, it was not a transition. So it kind of puts us in a weird spot where we want to have a big world with tons of islands, but they each have to be their own destination, so
Not
so
the
yeah.
easiest. Yeah.
Yes, also for a small team, maybe we took a big project for our first bigger game to have an open world survival craft. We were a team of 5 at first, Good luck with that.
Oh, that's quite neat. So you guys have little exploration puzzles around the place. I like that a lot.
Yeah,
So what
that's
is-
one of the... Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, go for it. Go for it.
I was gonna say that, like, it's the one example, like you have a ball that you place there, but with that ball, you can do a lot of different puzzles. So, smaller islands and the beginning islands that we see are more straightforward. Just put it there. But eventually, we have bigger islands that have more involved puzzles and challenges. And on those islands, what the reward we give is actually the ability to create those puzzles yourselves. So, yeah, I just think it's neat. We are technically Turing complete. Like, some players made computers on Aloft by using just the pieces we made. Because we have
That's
logic gates,
insane.
we have and
Yep.
OR gates and all that.
His face, dude.
If you right click, it fences.
Oh my god. I was thinking I could just do this. Like, I just imagine running up to some other player and just being like, "Look at my frog. Look at my
Yeah.
frog. Hey, look at my frog." But he dances, dude. God damn it.
And in multiplayer, the frog is facing the other player, so they also see the dance.
That's amazing.
Real details.
Actually incredible. God damn it. Yeah, no, this is fantastic. You guys have done a really good job, and it does feel like that nice, cozy vibe more so than I expected. Way more so, actually. Because that was the thing. I was like, oh, there's enemies in this, and then I was like, they're not that big of a deal. Like the environments are quite interesting, and you can just kind of build. I I really want to check out what the rest of this community has built in terms of like interesting community-based designs. I think that's the part that's going to be really interesting. How many of you guys in chat actually already play this? Because I noticed a number of people in chat were saying, "Hey, I already play this," from our community. You've played 183 hours, my man. You guys should link your builds in stream chat on the Discord. Like, I want to see what you made, because like, this feels like the building is just going to go insane at a certain point.
Yeah, maybe I could try to find some screenshots like that for what our players made. It's like some players don't even use the building pieces. They only use like the stretchable custom pieces, and they make like full pirate ships, like fully detailed. It takes like hundreds of hours to make. I'm baffled.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
You guys have a lot to be proud of. This game is awesome, dude. Like,
yeah, thank you.
You guys have made some really, really cool stuff here, and it's doing things that are technically incredibly hard too. Like, can you talk a little bit about the implementation of getting islands to be flyable? Like, that's a wild thing, honestly.
Yeah.
Because like you're a lot of the times that's static terrain, and you're like, you know what? That's the ship. You know, like what?
And like something that a lot of players don't like realize is that, like, optimization wise, floating islands are really difficult to optimize, because like usually you have like a one big plane for the terrain, like, deforming the ground, but we have like a lot of objects that make the island, so it's not like one big, because I know you did like Solarpunk as well. And the way they do their islands is that they do like a 3D model of each island they want to add to the game. And so it's one big model for the terrain. For us, because we want it to be very modular and have the players be able to build their own islands, it's more like blocks, like Lego pieces that you can put together and arrange in a way that will make an island. So each island is going to consist of a bunch of pieces, and moving them around the world with all the populations on them. Like, there's thousands and thousands of assets, like the trees, the flowers, the buildings on them. When you move them around the world, that's incredibly like taxing performance. So yes, it's a small game. Yes, it's cartoony. But yes, it's also very like taxing on your computer. But yeah, so I don't know how we're doing now, because we used to not move your island. We used to move everything else, because everything else wasn't fully loaded as your home island was. So
that's the way.
Everything else.
Games are fake. Telling you guys, it's always the funniest thing on the planet. Like, yeah, we can't move your island, so we move the rest of the world instead.
Exactly. But I don't know if that's still the case, because since then we've added multiplayer, because it wasn't there from the start. Because I'm not in the programming side of things, you know.
Sure.
Just the game design. So I wish I could tell more about it. But it is a constant, like, there's constant technical restrictions just by the fact that on the floating islands, the way the world generates, the way things can move, the features we can have. So yeah, it's always like compromise and trying to find interesting mechanics and systems that work within our constraints. But hey, what's design without constraints, right?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, that's always the way. You come up with an interesting solution to a difficult problem. That's how it always goes.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. I'm trying to beat this like very, very fungal island right now.
This is one of the Wonder Islands. So a lot of the islands in clusters are kind of randomly selected from our pool of islands, and then they're mixed and matched with ruins, as I mentioned earlier. But in each cluster, we have, like, in the center of the cluster, an island that's entirely handmade. It allows us to make like much bigger structure and more intricate secrets and stuff like that. But it's also usually where we hide like the main technologies, like the frescoes and the big reveal and the big stuff. Yeah, we try to make them more interesting, because this way, even if the side islands aren't as interesting, like if their RNG gives you some like pretty lame ruins or pretty lame resources, you still feel like that cluster of islands was worth it, because you had a big experience in the center of it that took like maybe 20-25 minutes to complete. So
and this is
one way. Yeah, that's the big one for this one.
Yeah, I really love getting all the. Every time I get a piece of paper, I'm like, yes, more.
Yeah.
I want to learn a trellis. Yes.
Yeah, there we go. Or the little bench on the side, or the carpet, or really anything.
Anything.
Yeah.
No, I love that. I really, really do like the learn things by looking at it and writing it down. That's an awesome system.
And it makes
Very,
sense,
very
right? Like, it's intuitive.
Yeah.
Like, I see something, I should be able to replicate it.
I agree. Yeah, I completely agree. And it's rare to see that kind of a thing. Like you've taken something that we've all done before, of like learning mechanics in a video game. You've done it. You've approached it from a novel way, and I think that's something to call out for sure, because it's not what I expected. It very much so surprised me, even though it's such a simple thing, you know.
Yeah, and I think like the exploration and the freedom and the discovery I think is the right word, is really important for Aloft. And one thing that we step back from is the knowledge stones. So right now we have a knowledge tree, and you know everything that's coming up, and you make choices. And obviously we made that change to fix a bunch of issues, because now you have agency over what you learn. You can expect things like, oh, in 2 knowledge stones I get to unlock the farming system, for example. But it does take away from before. You would see a knowledge stone, and it gave you a specific tech, and that was a surprise of, oh, what is it, you know? So we're trying to keep as much discovery elements as possible. We might retweak a bit the knowledge stones, how they work, to make them more special. But as I was saying that to approach like the crafting system. So you've noticed, like, on the workbench, you're mixing elements together and you're discovering recipes.
I really
And I was
like
like,
that. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a weird in between, like early days of Minecraft, you know, you have no idea what the recipes are. And you can't really tell. So you're just like mixing stuff until it works, and maybe you're missing an important element in the game that you won't know until you go to the wiki. And in other games like Craft, you know, like you just have all the text there, and like, there you go, that's what you can craft. So we're trying to do a system where you manually like research your crafting recipes, but there's still no room for error. So you can't make a mix that doesn't work. And as long as you keep clicking on yellow dots, you will find something new. So you kind of have a feeling of agency, but also of discovery. That's how we try to approach it, at least.
Well, I think you guys have found a really good mix and match there, honestly. Like, I really do. I think that... Ooh. I need a key.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
There's a key somewhere. And they do pretty good loot.
Yeah, I've also been gathering all of these horrible things that are definitely good for my inventory. That's totally safe to carry that. Yeah, not a problem. Just put it, put it in the old pocket. That's fine.
These are for the third tech tree. So you've seen that we have like a knowledge tech tree with the knowledge stones. We have a sailing tech tree with the anchors. And then we have a third one that's for research. So you just unlock the research table. And with that, you can make like experiments with the fungus. And you need those anomalies, like those red bubbly things, to be able to make those experiments. And doing experiments give you points for the research tree. And so that's how you will find how to make fungicides and cures and little like things to brew your concoctions. And then with that, that's how you eventually find a cure. And that's what you need to like heal the Leviathan. Because I don't know if you're aware, but there's a giant flying turtle. You've seen it at the beginning.
I saw it, yeah. It was awesome. Yeah.
And the goal is kind of to heal that Leviathan at the end. That's the final boss.
So what you're saying is I go to corrupted locations, obtain pieces of corruption, take them home, do experiments on them to gain forbidden knowledge. And there's not an old god involved.
No. Not
all right. Okay, yeah. I don't know if I believe you or not, but I understand, Great.
Yeah, and that's one way we incentivize combat as well, is that in that research, on the research lab, you need samples. So how you get samples, that you take a fungicide, you apply the coating on your tool, and then when you strike enemies with that tool, and you kill an enemy, it gives you samples. So you kind of, if you want to progress towards like the end goal of the game, you'll have to seek out the enemies and get the samples. So that's one way to incentivize combat.
So I saw that the map kind of was limited. Does that just keep going? Can I just keep generating new worlds and bring my island with me?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's you can bring me crouch through that. I'll flag that to the level designers.
That's cool.
But yeah, the map currently, like the map itself, like your current map is limited because, like for 1.0, we're adding to the sectors that are currently empty. Like we have some stormy sectors that you can't enter, but that's just because we're reserving the area for the new biomes and stuff. But in terms of the worlds you can generate in your saves, you're limitless. You can make as many as you want. You can keep bringing your island to those new worlds and explore new stuff. You might even encounter new like decoration pieces and ruins, because honestly, we have too many pieces to fit in the world. So I'm unsure if you can find everything in one playthrough, which is kind of sad. Like, it would be fun if you can find everything if you complete the whole world, but it's also very RNG dependent. So.
Yeah. No, I can understand that. I mean, like, you've got a lot of places and a lot of materials and all kinds of different stuff. But I do like the idea of just, let's go to another world. You know, let's try it out. I just found another unique material there.
And for updates too, that's one thing that was less frustrating with our previous updates, is that even though like for the new, oh yeah, that's a very rare water opal, lets you make very cool stuff. But yeah, the previous updates, when we said like, oh, you have to generate a new world to be able to see the new content, that didn't mean restarting your whole progress. That only meant like you start a new world, but you keep your island, you keep your character, because of the way we handle home islands, and they can move worlds. So there's at least that. Like restarting over in Aloft is not just losing everything. It's just new islands to explore, basically.
Mm-hmm. I found the key.
You did, yeah.
I was just hunting around and I found, wow, another water opal. And is it a carrot? Sugar beet? Pumpkin loaf?
Crops.
Glasswort?
So many. And some of the fungicide I was telling you about. So you can make that on your own, but some of the chests just give it to you straight up too.
Carved wood? I've got a lot of materials now.
Oh yeah, you have some advanced stuff.
My stuff is full. Get rid of that. Get rid of that.
And you found in that chest, like, one of the ways we found to, because I was saying, like, oh, maybe the random generation, the ruins, will make it so that there's certain decorations you won't be able to find in the world. But in the chest, you find, like, broken pages, like lost sketch fragments, and you can combine 3 of those in your workbench to make a sketch fragment. So those can be consumed, and they just teach you a random decoration that you haven't found yet. So this way, even if the world doesn't populate with all the assets, you can still unlock the decorations you've missed.
That's fantastic.
That's one way to do it.
Well, this is awesome. I think that, yeah, I think I'm kind of blown away by this. This is very, very fun to explore. I'm just finding myself walking through this and doing this the entire time. You know, it's very good. So I'm really impressed with what you guys are doing. Really, really am.
Thank you. Like, if you're interested in seeing it, like, I think the last feature we haven't covered in the stream, in the interview yet, would be on that cluster. There's the low symbiosis island. So that's one of the ecosystem. Like, internally we call it symbiosis, but it's the low ecosystem islands.
Okay. So when we have to repair it, basically.
Yes, with the life win gameplay, which I think is pretty fun.
So I can release the frogs.
Yes, I think that first low ecosystem island is pretty straightforward, because we don't want players to have to collect animals for the first one. So it's just like planting trees and cutting down sick flora. But as you explore more of the sick islands, they have like a ton of activities that we introduce. So destruction of older ruins, and like some leechers, like parasitic animals that you have to pluck out and destroy. So yeah, the island should be like, I think, a bit lower than you. It's gonna be looking barren, like it's a full wasteland.
I'm gonna see if we can find it on the map.
Let's go.
I didn't realize that all of these. Oh man. Okay, I thought everything was just this. I didn't realize it was all of this. Okay.
Yeah, there's 500 islands in the world.
That's enormous, dude. Is it this one? Is this the one I'm going to?
It's the little sapling there.
Okay, so we'll go off that one. Oh, it's like right next to it.
Yeah, it's literally just. So normally to restore it, you need to remove the corruption on nearby islands first. I don't know if you want to do that manually, or I can just give you a cheat code to do it.
Cheat code would be fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to make sure we can see
F1, it. And then after pressing F1, you can do kill nodes. So kill nodes will like kill all the nearby corruption.
Cool.
Yeah. So
Cleanse
this
the
way you
meditation
can just
circle.
restore the sun.
So that's this right here?
Yeah, so because you've removed all the corruption nearby, then you can remove that. And before you can interact with it actually, you'll need to restore this island's ecosystem. So yeah, in the field guide, there's a few tasks. It says 15 flora. The trees can be cut, but like the little plants also count as sick flora.
Okay, I'll just go take
That's
out
a very
plants.
like basic and core of the system, just removing dead stuff and adding new stuff. But
Yeah.
it gets more interesting as you keep playing.
Specifically all the red stuff here.
Yeah.
Do I have to chop
just to
down
help-
all these trees as well?
No, there's more than the amount you need to cut down. So
Okay. I'm going to chop one of them down anyway, just to see. Oh, it got me, like, reishi inoculant from doing that. Do they have, like, special items in these ones?
These ones specifically do give you like inoculant. Usually you have to grind the reishi mushroom in the millstone to get it. Because some of these islands require you to like inoculate some logs to add some funga to the island. So we figure it will give you the inoculant you need by chopping the trees. So like 2 birds, 1 stone kind of stuff.
I'm really glad you guys added like mushroom cultivation to the game. I do home cultivation. So like for me that's like very cool. I think it's actually really awesome.
Yeah, it's a super interesting thing, and a lot of games have mushroom cultivation.
Yeah.
And I feel like with The Last of Us, and I guess we're also
People
carrying that
freaked out about 'em.
stereotypes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like mushrooms bad, but mushrooms are actually super important for an ecosystem. They have symbiotic and like a relationship with trees and a lot of stuff. So if we had mushroom enemies, it was important for us to also have like good representation of mushrooms. You know?
Yeah. No, it's super funny because like a lot of people fear the mushroom, and they should. You should fear the wild mushrooms, but there's a bunch of other ones too. It's one of the things that always makes me laugh is people will be like, "Oh, I don't like mushrooms." I was like, "Which ones have you had?" And they're like, "All of them." No, you haven't. Guaranteed. There are
Yeah,
so
there's
many
a-
varieties of edible. Like I go foraging for like chanterelles and king boletes
Oh, yeah.
out here, and they're just oh god, they're so good. And people go, "I thought there was just white mushrooms on pizza." No, no.
There's a whole world of
Let
them.
me show you the mushrooms. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And even the ones that are harmful to you to eat, they're still very good for the environment. You know, they're still
Yep.
very good actors. It's not because it's bad for you; it's bad for the ecosystem.
Yes, indeed. Okay, now I have to poke this with a spear.
Yes, and plant some seeds in them. And you can select what you want to plant. You can plant some crops. That's a fast way to grow them because they will instantly grow when the island is healed. You can plant some just flora because that's very easy. Or you can plant some trees. The trees really make for a beautiful result in the end once you're done healing that island because they grow and they spread. So it's a pretty result.
So I can just... I love that you use a spear to just poke a hole. Like,
Yeah, well, it's a door keep, right? It's a half a spear, half a hoe. So it can be
Yep.
used for gardening.
Just
The
makes
idea
me
was
laugh.
just, do we make 2 tools? Like in Minecraft, how useful is the hoe really? And we like the idea of our tools being used in combat as well. So we figured, oh, these people live in the sky. They have corruption to fight, but they're farmers. So might as well give a tool that's both a spear and a hoe.
I love that. How many more of these do I need?
Field guide should say. Not too much, I think. And if you're lost on finding them, like when you're holding the field guide, they grow in red. They glow in red.
Yeah, I saw that. It's a really nice feature. The problem I'm running into now is I'm out of seeds.
Oh, you can change tabs. So if you go to a seed mound, instead of planting a crop, you have some other options. You have the trees, you have the plants, and if you plant a tree, it's going to make
There
a
we
beautiful
go.
result. Yeah.
I'll do that.
And one thing that's so you were talking about like the ecosystems. These you have like to restore, but we all actually do track the ecosystems of each island. And if you remove too many animals, if you remove too much like fungi or flora, like the trees, or you cut down too much stuff, the island's gonna become sick, and things are gonna stop growing. Things are gonna become bleak. So you have to put back on it, and that's one way for us to say like, yeah, ecological restoration is a big theme in this game, and in most survival games, your way to like play the game is to be greedy and to just like take everything and just leave it like as a ruin. And for us, we said, okay, how can we make the player like care about the environment? So we have that mechanic that punishes you if you destroy it. But also, if you want wood, the best way is not to wait for a tree to grow for hours and then cut it down. The best way is to just trim the branches, or let it spread its little saplings and collect those saplings. So actually, if you want a lot of wood, you better plant a forest instead of deforesting the island.
That makes sense. Yeah, I saw that at the island that I took, is it already had like rows of trees. Looked like that to kind of encourage the player, like, hey, this is how it works. Wait, am I controlling this?
Yeah, you are. So that's the part where you get to paint the ground, and as you hit those seeds you planted earlier, it's going to spread that specific plant around. So the crops that just spread fully, but the trees will make it forest, for example.
What an insane system!
Yeah, we might want to tweak the camera to let you see through the trees.
Wow.
So that was introduced in the last update. So you have the task at the beginning of planting stuff and restoring the island, and then you get to just paint the whole island green and spread the trees.
It's a fantastic system. It really is quite beautiful, and it's fun, you know?
Yeah.
It's not what I expected. I was like, oh, it's going to be a cinematic, and it's like, no, this game isn't about watching and sitting around. This game is about doing it yourself, and I like that. I prefer that quite a bit.
And it's the magic, you know, it's the feel good element of it. In real life, if you want to like plant a forest, you have to wait 20 years to see it grow. In this game, you're saying like, play as the wind, play as the elements that make it grow and see it for yourself.
It's very pretty.
Yeah, it doesn't serve a lot of gameplay purpose. It's just a fun moment. So we allow players to skip it. Like I think if you press escape, it's going to skip it entirely. But a lot of players just choose to stay and play it. It's fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, is like you say, it doesn't have a lot of gameplay purpose, but like, this is a game. You know, like, this is the gameplay. And I feel like if you're playing a cozy game, this is a big part of that. You know, that feeling of, you know, it's a feeling of progression, and you get to control it. Like, I don't think I've seen a game that lets you do this, ever. And it's pretty awesome looking. Yeah, it's for the feels, exactly. You feel more connected to it. In fact, after doing this, I kind of want to turn this into my island, right? Because I built it. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. You have the creative part. You chose the trees. You chose the plant species that were going to be on it. And
you have an attachment to it, in a way.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes it quite interesting. The ads have returned. I'm going to wait on Bezos. The island is completed, and we have access to it now. So now I can gather the dream fruit. Let me go grab that real quick. It's really, really nice being able to see, like, I went and fixed the island, and now I get to see how it turned out based on the choices that I made. I really like that. And if I destroyed all of this, would it become sick again, and we'd have to do the same thing?
It would become unhealthy, but not a wasteland. So you would have to add them back, but you wouldn't have to do like that whole gameplay again of playing the lifeline. I'm sending on our Discord a few examples of what players have built, which is pretty...
What a crazy looking image. And that's all built out of wood planks, yeah?
Yeah.
Little bits of stuff. I'm going to show you guys this. 1 second. So they've got an island inside of that, and they built everything around the island.
Yeah, they have a very small one probably in the foundation of the ship or something.
This goes crazy for building, dude. And I'm like, I feel so proud about my little rock flying through space. And they're like, look at this. That's insane.
Imagine flying that around the world, and you can bring it to your friends, to your friends' world. Like, look what I built, and you bring that.
Imagine showing up and you're like, hey, look, I found an outhouse. I'm flying it around. And your buddy's like, look at my ship. And then this shows up. And
yeah, and you know, in Minecraft, you make something very pretty. Like, that's pretty. This is a functional ship. You can open the sails, you can turn it around, you can move it around the world. Like, that's your base. You get to play in this.
How many sketchbooks do I need? That's all I'm asking.
A lot, probably.
That is phenomenal.
But honestly, this is made out of like the basic stretchable stuff, like for most of it. So you probably don't need that much. You just need a lot of time, I guess.
Here's another one that someone's made. It's got even like cannon ports along the side of it.
And those are custom sails. So we have planks that go from point A to point B, but we also have sails that you can have 4 points, and they connect out of those 4 points, and you can like use a scroll wheel to make it more like like to curve it, I guess. And what they do for the ropes, now we actually have ropes from point A to point B now, But what they did on that ship is that they used a custom cloth, and they took the first 2 points at the same location, the last 2 points at the same location. So that's just a long rectangle that looks like a rope.
Okay, that's amazing. And then this one in here is like showing off the architecture and seeing how intricate you can get with that. Look at this. It's even got the windsocks on it, dude.
Yeah, and you know the water opal you gathered? You can see like at the top of the building that's in the front of the camera, there's some water opal beams there, so those are pretty intricate. That's the windstone crystal.
Where's the water opal?
At the very bottom of the image, like the very top of the roof we see at the bottom of
the image. These?
They have some little, water opal beams.
Oh, that's awesome.
And there's a lot of stuff. I mean, there's a cheat code in the game to go into creative. It's just creative on, and then you get to see like all the decorations of the game. Like there's so much you can do.
I forgot I was holding the frog. I switched back to the game. I was like, he's just like, blah, blah. Ridiculous, dude. No, this is awesome. You want to show off your skyships? Show them in Discord in our stream chat. This is phenomenal, dude. Well, unfortunately, I am late for D&D, and we are at time. I do have one last question. If you were talking to someone today, there's a lot of people in our community that are just starting out as developers. What advice do you have for them?
Oh, that's a good one. I mean, you're gonna make mistakes. That's for sure. Aloft, I used to be a board game designer, and Aloft was the first video game I designed. So like mistakes when you're starting off are part of the deal of being a designer. As long as like there's always a way. Like you have constraints, you have things you want to fix. Listen to your players, listen to your teammates. There's usually a clever solution that is the perfect combinations of low on manpower but also high in efficiency, and just gotta find it. And that's what design is about, is finding clever solutions to complex problems. So just keep looking for it, and there's always something elegant for you down the road.
But no, I absolutely agree with you. I think the biggest thing that people can realize is that they can just do it, and it won't be great at first, but nothing ever is, and that's okay.
Yeah, it's a learning process, and you keep getting better, and that's the beauty of it.
Well, with that in mind, I'm gonna go play D&D badly with my friends. It was wonderful talking to you. Your guys' game is phenomenal, and if you guys have not gone and wishlisted this yet, you absolutely should. This is very, very cool, and the amount of creativity is just phenomenal. Best thing you can do for developers is to wishlist their games, and after the recent changes, they are now at 95% positive in the reviews, up from 83.
Yeah.
So the recent changes are definitely well appreciated by the community. You guys are doing great.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. Thank you for the kind words again and the support.
Absolutely.
I love it. And yeah, do wishlist the game, guys. It's what helps us the most.
And thank you very much. And also, thank you to you guys and to Funcom for sponsoring this event. You guys doing that allow a ton of other indie devs to be able to show off their games. That's phenomenal. So thank you.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. Have fun with the D&D.
Yeah, have a good one.
All right, ciao.